From space, New Zealand looks like two small green islands floating in a huge blue ocean.
Aotearoa, that's the Maori name for New Zealand, and Maori are the indigenous people who've lived here for hundreds of years, long before European men arrived in the 1600s.
And today we're travelling here to meet an artist who asks us three simple questions.
Who is telling a story? Who is missing from the picture? What might have happened outside this image?
These questions sound simple, but once you start asking them, everything changes.
And that's exactly what Lisa Reihana does.
Lisa Reihana is Maori, from the far north of Aotearoa, and she also has European ancestry.
So she grew up with two histories, one from the colonizers, one from the colonized.
That's a complicated place to stand, but it also gives her a superpower. She can see both sides of the story.
In the early 1800s, a French entrepreneur created a giant wallpaper showing the Pacific as a paradise.
Beautiful, yes, accurate, not even close.
It showed indigenous people as decorative, peaceful, exotic, a fantasy, a postcard, a world without conflict.
And Lisa looked at it and thought, where are the real stories?
Lisa spent almost a decade rebuilding the wallpaper, but this time with real people, real cultures, real histories. She called it In Pursuit of Venus Infected. Venus because the original wallpaper was inspired by Captain Cook's voyage to observe the transit of Venus, a rare moment when the planet moves across the face of the sun, and infected because she fills that fantasy image with real people, real tensions, and indigenous perspectives that were left out. In Pursuit of Venus Infected wasn't made by one person. Over 100 performers, cultural advisors, costume makers, cinematographers, and technicians worked with Lisa across nearly a decade, creating a 26-meter or 83 feet long 64-minute moving panorama. That's impressive.
She worked with Maori, Tahitian, Hawaiian, and Aboriginal performers, and even recreated scenes drawn by Tupaia, the Tahitian navigator who travelled with Captain James Cook during the first significant and often tense encounters between Maori and European men.
She added ceremony, negotiation, humour, misunderstanding, trade, sexuality, conflict, all the things the original wallpaper left out.
And she placed the viewer on the land, not on the European ship. That's a big shift.
It means you are standing with the indigenous people, watching the ships arrive.
When you stand in front of Lisa's work, you don't just watch history, you feel it.
You hear the ocean, you hear the birds, you hear tattooing, singing, weaving, haka. Sound becomes part of the story. Lisa is a researcher. She digs through archives, museums, journals, drawings.
She looks for the gaps, the missing voices, the missing perspectives.
And then she rebuilds the scene with care, humour, and responsibility.
She doesn't simplify history, she expands it. Lisa is a perfect example of how to remix colonial images with indigenous stories to show a fuller history.
Yes. Lisa is like a cultural weaver. She takes old colonial threads and weaves them with indigenous voices to form a richer view of Pacific history.
And she invites us, gently, to look closer.
So next time you see a historical image,
ask yourself, who told this story, who was left out, and what else was happening just outside the frame?
That's where Lisa Reihana's work begins, and now it's yours. If you're new to Mikono Art, we share women's art, past and present, worldwide. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps us keep these stories alive. Even a little emoji makes a difference.